to Would I Lie to You, the show with barefaced lies and well-masked truths. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a boy's own star who was once a judge on The Voice Australia, which is exactly the same as our version, except the chairs turn in the opposite direction. It's Ronan Keating. And you may well have caught her on This Morning or I'm a Celebrity, both of which are on ITV, so she's not that posh. It's Georgia Toffolo. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, a comedian who was once voted Wales's 6th sexiest man. It sounds good until you find out there are only 7 men in Wales, and one of them is me. It's Rod Gilbert. And from the MASH report, a comedian who used to present Snog, Marry, Avoid. I'll save you the effort. It goes David, Rob, Lee. It's Ellie Taylor. We'll begin with round 1, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Toof, you're first up.
Right. I instructed Deliveroo to block my orders after my bacon sandwich addiction got out of hand.
Right. So how many bacon sandwiches were you getting?
When it really, really got bad, it was about 4 or 5 times a week.
I mean, just how posh are you where you're ordering out for bacon butties?
Where was the restaurant you were getting them from?
Well, actually, the most embarrassing part of it is that, you know, I can get a bacon sandwich a mere 45 seconds away from my front door.
Were they delivering from the place that was that close?
Yeah. OK, right, hear me out. There is no greater joy than a bacon sarnie in bed, right?
Oh, I can think of something. Pot noodle.
Will Deliveroo deliver to your bed?
Well, no, you have to remove yourself from said bed and go to the front door. But
Well, hang on,
it's
if it's that close, you must be halfway to the shop at that point.
Your bacon sarnie addiction consists of 4 or 5 a week, which is sort of less than 1 a day.
Oh, that's a lot, though.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot of bacon
It's not
sarnie.
an addiction, is it?
Well...
I mean, well, I've got a Weetabix addiction in that case.
Tell us about the bacon sandwich, Toof. Was it a bog standard one, or was it something a little bit special?
No, it's a classic. White bread, Tommy K, bacon, job done. Not
Tommy
toasted.
K, did you say? What does that mean?
Tomato ketchup.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you know that?
Tommy K was the name.
Tommy K, everyone knows what Tommy K is.
No, they don't. Don't
Yes,
get on
I
the
knew
kids'
what Tommy
bandwagon.
K was.
No, you didn't.
Even though I'm a man who prefers Bobby Brown, I did know what Tommy K was.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh, I did.
And would you order anything else with it, or was it just the bacon sandwich?
Well, it depends. If I'm feeling a bit fruity, I'd have an OJ, but...
Orange
Juice.
juice.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Would you maybe add a bob? Would you add a bob to it? Shut up. Would you add a bob? A B.O.B., bit of butter? Didn't you know that? You're so old, Grandad.
Why did you block the Deliveroo account? Why didn't you just stop ordering them?
I tried that. I tried just not ordering, but my willpower is quite obviously not good enough. So I emailed the Deliveroo HQ and basically asked them. I thought it was quite funny at the time, but then
how
they
did you
actually
word
did
it?
block me. Hello, I've got a bacon sandwich addiction. Help, please block my account.
And did they get back to you?
No, but I then tried to order 2 days later and I couldn't log into my account. It's been reinstated since. I emailed again, because it is actually quite annoying.
What did you do? What was how did you email? What was that?
Hello, I made an enormous mistake. Please, can I come back?
No, that was the email you sent to me.
Certainly did not.
What do you think, Ellie?
She's telling it well, but I don't think it's the truth.
Why?
Because, Lee, I think she's lying.
I think she's clearly insane. I think it's true. Absolutely true, 100%.
Lee?
Yeah, I would say it's true.
You're going to say true. Toof. Truth or lie?
It is true. Yeah, it's true.
Yes, it's true. Toof really did have to block her own bacon sandwich orders. Ronan, you're next.
As part of my vocal warm-up, in the hour before any Boys' Own show, instead of speaking, I would insist on singing everything I had to say.
Right, there we are, Lee's team.
Right.
Would you sing it in just any melody, or would it have to be a Boys' Own song melody?
No, it was like that monotone, like a musical. You know?
Monotone, so it was a Boys' Own.
It was like a Boys' Own. same note most of the time. I stuck on the same note. I knew I fed him that line. I thought, what did I do?
All right, so look, we're in the dressing room.
Yeah.
I'm your road manager, lovely salt-of-the-earth guy from Dublin called Mikey, and I've come in to ask you...
He was in the band.
This is Mikey too.
OK, Mikey too.
And I've come in to ask you, right? So, Ronan, we're looking forward to the show tonight, so we are. Now, what would you like to be eating before the show? What can I get you?
I don't want anything to eat before the show. Basically, it was Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees, and he told me that this was a great tool for warming up before the show.
And is that what he was doing?
That's what he does. He does.
Do you want a packet of crisps? Yes, I do.
He still
That
does
must have been very irritating.
Yeah. So,
hang on a minute. Your promoter has come into the dressing room.
Yeah.
All right, Ronan. Listen, we got to shift your car.
Yeah.
What's the registration number?
HZV 903.
And where would you like this? Hang on. Where would you like us to put it? We can put it round the front, or we can stick it up the back. What would you prefer?
Stick it up the back.
Well, there's a ringtone right there.
Yeah, right.
What do you think, Ellie? How does this strike you?
Yeah, I think it could be true. Because Adele, she didn't speak for ages to protect her voice.
What do you mean for ages?
She had something wrong with her voice, so she had like one of those extra... I think she had an extra... Oh, I made that bit out of an extra sketch. Maybe she just had a notepad. I think...
Is there a chance
I've mixed up Adele and Toy Story. That's what's happened.
Would be any less efficient way of getting notes to people.
You could draw a lovely house.
You definitely need some techniques before you go on. That seems to me very credible.
Yeah, but
the
bit that I believe everything about it apart from the monotone. It would be an odd thing to get your voice warmed up by singing only one note. So I think it's a lie.
You're saying it's...
A lie.
A lie. OK, Ronan.
OK,
Truth or lie?
Unfortunately, lads, it's a lie.
I thought I had you.
Yes, it's a lie. Ronan didn't sing everything he had to say before a Boys' Own show. Rod, you're next.
For 1 month, I chose to sleep on the streets rather than talk to the people I was supposed to be living with.
David C.
And at what stage in your life was this?
What stage?
Yes.
Do you mean how old was I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Age 20.
Whereabouts? Where was it?
Spain.
What made you vacate your house?
There was no house, and I never went to it.
You never went there at all?
It was a hotel or hostel thing, you know, not a house. Yeah. I went there, stood outside,
OK.
looked at it,
Yeah.
thought, nah.
So it wasn't the people, it was the...
It was the idea of the people.
You wanted to live alone and were surprised that a hostel didn't afford that possibility.
And you stayed on the street for a whole month.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bar a couple of nights here or there, yeah.
Did you pull on the other nights? What happened on those?
You're absolutely right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So on those occasions, the thought of other people wasn't quite so loathsome.
Yes.
Where in Spain was this?
It was in Salamanca, and I slept on a bench, right dead centre of a square.
How were you washing your clothes?
I didn't.
Well, how many pairs of pants did you have?
I'm going to say 4, but...
4 for a month without washing them?
I said 4, but it could have been 7.
Well, 7's not enough. You need 28, otherwise you're an animal.
No, but I hate to support your own teammate against you, Lee. If you're going to a place for a month, you might decide that you're not going to take enough underwear to have a fresh pair of pants every day without ever washing them.
How many pairs of pants do you own?
I think I've probably got about... I've got maybe...
Look at you, desperate thinking. Was this the right answer? There's no right or wrong. You're amongst friends.
I think I've got about 14 pairs I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And another 4 or 5 that would do at a pinch, and I use the word advisedly.
Predominantly boxers or bikini brief?
Predominantly... I mean, it's interesting that this is what the conversation's going on. Predominantly what I believe is referred to as a sort of trunk.
You favour the trunk?
Yeah.
I think you mean the jockey short. Like a boxer short shape, but tighter.
Look, I'll just take my trousers off and you can look.
I did wash a pair of pants.
Oh, you remember that?
I did wash
It's amazing how these things come back to you.
The reason I chose the middle of the square was because there was a bin lorry that would come around every morning in concentric circles, just spraying from the side of the lorry, hosing down the square. I would stay in the middle, and then I would wash in the bin lorry when it got to the centre. And one day I did wash a pair of pants on the hose on the side of the bin lorry. I did.
Wow.
I did.
So you put...
Hey, hi, girls. This is my friend Rod. Would you like a drink?
You put a pair of pants in the way of a bin lorry's hose to wash it.
I used to wash in the bin lorry, well, the tap at the side of the bin lorry, yeah.
So they wouldn't mind you sauntering up to the bin lorry and turning the tap
No,
on?
they were very amenable, the local bin man, Miguel.
Well, you got
Did you learn the phrase, can I wash my pants on the side of your bin lorry in Spanish?
Se puede lavarme los... what's underpants in Spanish, Rob?
Pantalonero.
Sí.
How many pants have you got, Rob?
I was just given a gift. It was my birthday recently, not that you'd know from any response from you. And...
I didn't know you were still alive. What did you get for your birthday?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got some...
Old man who forgot the story. I got a lovely present anyway. On with the game. Do you remember, Rob, you were telling us a lovely story about your pants? Tell us about your pants.
I got some pants.
Yeah.
Now, so, Ronan Keating, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Toof, what about you?
I think it's a completely insane thing to do what you did, so I think you're lying.
There is a lot of detail. I'm going to go true.
You're saying it's true. OK, Rod. Was it the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a... true! Insane.
Yes, it's true. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. It's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Maria. So, Ronan, what is Maria to you?
This is Maria. She is the Boys' Own competition winner that 20 years ago won the duvet from my bed.
Toof, how do you know Maria?
So, this is Maria. She works for my new business venture, selling clip-on earrings for dogs.
And
finally, David, what is your relationship with Maria?
This is Maria, and she once gave me a ginger nut when I came over all queasy on a glass-bottomed boat.
Lee's team, where will you begin?
Well, we'll begin with Ronan, I think. So she won your duvet 20 years ago. First of all, what was the competition? What was it? Was it on a TV show?
It was my 21st birthday, and it was a radio show. And on the radio show, we did a competition to give away my duvet.
Was it actually your duvet, or did you just buy a duvet?
It was actually my duvet.
Sorry, just to be clear, do you mean the duvet or the duvet cover, or both?
It was all of it.
You can't just...
Oh, you mean all the horrible old manky duvet bit that's inside there? Full of coffee stains and others.
What did she have to do? So it's a radio show. They're going, very good morning to you. You're going to be get your chance today to win Ronan Keating's duvet.
I was in Ireland. It was in Ireland.
Sorry?
It was in Ireland.
Sorry, Sorry, Ronan, he's got a limited range.
Oh, sorry. Let's go.
The only chance you've got is if Ronnie Corbett co-hosted.
What did she have to do?
It was a competition. People had to send me a birthday card.
Right.
And I would pick one of the birthday cards out.
So tell us how it worked. Talk us through it.
We were actually doing the show live from my house on my birthday. And
now it's...
nice detail.
they came to the house. Yeah.
Right.
And so we did it from there. So they wanted an item from my house.
So they just had to send you a birthday card, and you would choose the best. And how did you judge the picture? What was it?
We put the cards in the washing machine.
You put the cards
in the washing machine.
The washing machine.
So, and we spun it around a bit, and then I put my hand in and I took a card out, and it was Maria's.
Did you sign it, the duvet?
I did.
Was it a single or a double?
It was a double.
Did they have buttons along the top or the side?
Down the end.
Right, you're lying. Nobody would know that. Nobody would remember that. Everyone knows that they would remember.
How else do you think they get the duvet in and out?
Duvet from 20 years ago?
Well, from whatever era, it has to have buttons on how to get the duvet in and out.
No, sometimes the buttons are down the side. You're saying it was on the end. You'd never remember where...
It depends on which way you turn it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
they're
no.
never on the side.
Side.
They're always at the bottom.
side.
No, you just
Buttons are never down the side.
Never down.
Never.
I think I know what's happening here. I think you've got the duvet the wrong way round.
Yes.
Ask you a question. Do you find, when you're sleeping at night, that your neck and knees and toes get very cold?
Let's move on. Who would you like to question next?
Let's go with Toof. Toof, you are claiming what?
So Maria basically runs the production of my new business venture, making clip-on earrings for dogs.
OK. How's that going?
Well,
Are you going for a particular breed, or is it for any dogs?
no, it's for any dogs, but we've had to be quite careful about the clasps because obviously dogs' ears are quite thin.
Yeah.
We've got 10 different styles.
I'll go through them all quickly.
So, oh God, do I have to do all of them? I'm not sure that's
do you
embarrassing.
want to change it to 3?
We've got 2 pearl ones. We've got like a small one and then a longer one.
Oh, you're gonna get through the 10 like that, are you? Then we've got a medium-sized pearl. Then we've got a very large pearl one. Basically, we've got 10 sizes of pearl.
If I wanted to put an earring on my schnauzer, how would I go about it?
Well, the company's called Dog and Sloan. Get it?
Dog and Sloan.
Bone,
I like
but I
that.
live in
That's very good.
I wanted Bone Ranger, but it was already taken, which is
Yes,
annoying.
That's my website, isn't it?
What does Maria do for your business? And how did you recruit her?
I found out on... it's called Radio HP. Have you heard of it? It's like Gumtree for posh people.
It's like what?
Gumtree for posh people.
Right.
It is.
What did the advert say?
They just said, work based in Battersea, production manager.
Battersea, because you think they'd be good clients, though.
Yeah.
Captive audience, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that's what homeless dogs are looking for, priority, isn't it? Who's looking for a new home, then? No, I'm looking for a new pearl drop. They do an array of size of pearls, apparently. How big is this business going to be that you're going to have people?
Maria's one of 4.
She's one of 4 staff members that are working for
I'm
you.
not joking.
Okay?
I promise.
One of 4.
Oh, you promise? Well, why didn't you say? Oh, I didn't know you were promising. Oh, that's a whole different ball game. Oh, we don't need to ask anymore. We don't need to ask David. It's tough. She's telling the truth because she's promised, doesn't she?
What about David?
OK, remind us, David, of your...
Well, Maria gave me a ginger nut.
Oh, yeah.
When I came over all queasy on a glass-bottomed boat.
I've known you long enough, David, to know that you would not accept a ginger nut from a stranger.
Where were you in the world?
I was near the island of Capri in Italy.
Who were you with, David?
I was on my own.
On your own?
You were on your own?
Yeah.
On holiday on your own?
No, my wife and child had consented to join me on a holiday.
Why were you queasy?
Because of the undulation of the boat caused by the action of the sea.
Nothing to do with the glass bottom, then? It wasn't because...
Well, I think it might have been something to do with the glass bottom, because one thing they tell you not to do if you're suffering from motion sickness in a boat or a car, they tell you don't just stare at the floor. If you've paid to go for a ride on a glass-bottomed boat, you're wasting your money if you just stare at the horizon, which you can do from the land. The whole point of the glass-bottomed boat is to look straight at the bottom of the boat, which is, ironically, the very action that will make you nauseous. And so I say it's a design fault.
What was Maria doing on the boat?
It's glass-bottomed boats are for tourists, really. They're not used much in international freight. So we were all of us on the boat, really, apart from the driver, was there in a capacity of a tourist.
And she came prepared for the trip with some ginger nuts?
Yes.
We all do. Who doesn't go sailing without ginger nuts?
Well, me.
Well, ginger nuts are... That's what they recommend. just recently did a programme with the Navy, and that's what they recommended. Ginger nuts, they swear by them for travel sickness, for motion sickness.
Do they?
Absolutely.
Ginger nut biscuits?
They do.
So she said to you, let me offer you a ginger nut. Did Maria say anything else? What was the exchange then?
She said, I can't really remember, but she said...
What, you just ignored her? You took the ginger... You went, thanks very much. Oh. Is that what you did?
Yeah, well, I mean, that is how my face is, so, you know...
Right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team. Is Maria Ronan's bedding buddy, Toff's doggy designer, or David's seasick Samaritan?
Well, I think Toff's out.
Is she?
Yeah, surely, right? No one's buying doggy earrings.
Well, I think as upsetting and disgusting as it is,
Yeah.
it's Ronan.
I don't
far
find
more
that
upsetting.
Ronan's?
No.
Don't you?
As, like, a 12-year-old girl, I would have loved to have won Mark
Yeah.
Owen's duvet.
Yeah.
That would look like a flannel.
What about David?
Well, you see, David, nauseous, on a boat. No one was gone with him. It's all ringing true, isn't it?
So let's make a decision.
It's Ronan.
Ronan. We'll go for it.
You're going to say it's Ronan? OK. Maria, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Maria, and I won Ronan Keating's duvet.
Yes, Maria did win Ronan's duvet, and she has kept it all those years, and it's here.
Which side does it? Open!
Oh, yeah. But he signed it, that's nice.
Yeah.
And just clarify, there was never a cover.
There was never a cover.
Never a cover.
You cheapskate.
Which is different to their albums, which was full of covers.
There you go. Isn't that nice? Hello, Maria.
Come on,
How
2
are
years
you?
later, how are you? Nice to
Now that's how you treat your fans, Lee. And this is your most treasured possession.
Yes,
Well, that's... And where's it been for all these years?
the attic.
In the attic. Really treasured. Well, Maria, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Safe trip home. Lovely, thank you for coming.
Thank you
Maria.
very much.
Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with... It's Ellie.
When I worked as an estate agent, if the person I was showing around the house didn't seem interested, I'd tell them Noel Edmonds was born there.
David's team.
Whereabouts were you an estate agent?
In Islington.
Did you have a company car?
I did.
What car was it?
It was a Foxton's Mini.
Oh, so classic.
Thanks, babe.
Were you in sales or letting?
Lettings.
So you'd be showing around a flat that you could rent.
Yeah.
And you'd say, oh, buy that. They'd go, well, do you know what? We're not sure and we're a bit busy. You'd go, let me stop you there.
It was kind of a joke within the office about the kind of things that you could drop and people would believe. And the running one became, for me, that I would always say that Noel Edmonds has lived at the address.
Why Noel Edmonds?
Because it was such a random, stupid person.
And what did you used to say? You used to say that he...
Oh, sorry to offend Noel Edmonds fans.
Now, earlier you said that he was born there.
Yeah.
Yes, because just now you said that he lived there. That you
Well, he
would
did
say
live
that
there. He was born there.
Yeah.
And then we have...
That's people often say he lived there. Yeah, he used to live here from the ages of 0 to 2. That's when he lived here. Who did he live with? His parents, probably.
Did you ever get a cell because of it?
Should have said a deal or no deal, surely.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I got a proper sale from it, but people...
It would be unlikely because you were in lettings. That would be amazing. Noel Edmonds was born here. Well, in that case, forget renting it. We'll take the place.
I don't know if I ever got a proper, a sold
My
letter
client
from it.
would like a moment.
When you say born, do you go into details of his first breath, or was he transported there?
No, I don't know the ins and outs, literally, of the birth.
And it would,
you go with that?
it would be an unusual second line. Noel Edmonds used to live here. Would you like to hear about his first breath? Because it's only me and you here. Long pause, and then I don't really work for Foxtons. I haven't even got a mini.
Noel Edmonds was born here. It was a very difficult birth. The screaming was heard for hours and hours.
Actually, if we're quiet, you can still hear it now.
Let's imagine for a second. Let's for people with limited imaginations, we could reenact some of this. Lee, you're looking to rent a flat, and Ellie is showing you around it. Off you go.
I'm with you, because I've got the keys.
I'm checking the kitchen worktop. Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like that.
OK, that's included.
Oh, you're not taking that with you?
No, that's included in the rental.
She's not the owner.
No.
She is the estate agent.
Thank you.
Estate agents don't take
Sorry,
anything.
would you
from
mind
the
turning the
houses.
television on?
Hello, would you like to go on a...
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm not massively interested in this flat. I'll just 50-50.
OK, well, maybe it will help things if I tell you that Noel Edmonds used to live here. Born here, in fact.
In fact...
Well remembered, Ellie.
I can't believe it. I'm very interested. How long was he here for?
Oh, not long, just a few childhood years. Made some great memories.
This is a long shot, and it's a bit of a deal breaker, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know how his first breath went.
It went very well, very well.
I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Right, David, what's it going to be?
This is my concern about this story. People who are being shown around rental flats, I don't think they need to be as interested in the place as if they're buying it. It's not like you have to fall in love with the place. And I think this Noel Edmonds bit of, oh, that's interesting thing, would be a better technique if you were trying to sell flats. And I think that was what was in the mind of the person who invented this lie that was put on the card, and then Ellie mistakenly said she worked as a lettings agent rather than a sales agent.
So you think it's a lie, pretty...
I think we do think it's a lie.
Decisively.
Yeah.
OK. Ellie, was it the truth? Or was it a lie?
Ye of little faith, it is an absolute lie. Yeah.
Yes, it's a lie. Ellie didn't name-drop Noel Edmonds to try and sell houses. And that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that Lee's team has won by 3 points to 2. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night. Welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show that separates fact from fiction. On David Mitchell's team tonight, one of Wales's premier TV personalities is about to introduce that woman who does the One Show. It's Alex Jones. And a comedian and star of The MASH Report, who recently went viral. I do hope that's cleared up. It's Rachel Harris. On Lee Mack's team tonight, a German comedian... Sorry, I meant the German comedian. It's Henning. And And a hard-hitting documentary maker who's seen things that would shock you to your core. Well, that's the risk you take when your dressing room is next door to Lee's. It's Stacey Dooley. So we begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Alex, you're first tonight.
All right. On a recent trip to the zoo, my bag was hijacked by a one-armed monkey.
Lee.
What zoo was it?
London Zoo.
And which arm was it?
The left was missing, right intact.
As you look at it, or from the monkey's perspective?
His left was missing.
OK.
And why was it missing, Al?
I don't really know. I mean, we were merely visitors in the zoo, Stace. I didn't know the backstory of the monkey.
No, I accept that.
Who is we?
Me and my husband and our little boy.
Your little boy. So you've gone for a little family day at the zoo.
Yeah.
And aren't monkeys usually behind cages or behind glass?
Well, they are, apart from when you get to the rainforest section. And in the rainforest section, there are birds, there are monkeys, there are sloths. It's a free-for-all.
Did the monkey have a name? Because often they name them, don't they?
The monkey's name was Bandit.
Bandit?
As in one arm.
Oh, come on!
What sort of monkey? It wasn't a chimp, was it?
I'm not David Attenborough, I don't know, but
Excuse me, a chimpanzee, even though it looks like a monkey, isn't a monkey.
Well spotted. I deliberately said that.
Even though a chimp is totally, in every meaningful way, obviously it's a monkey, it's not a monkey. You know, it's a special place that's been made by biologists for pedants to reside, so that whenever anyone refers to a chimpanzee as a monkey like you did, then a pedant like me says, oh, no, a chimpanzee isn't a monkey, and I've started to hate myself for that.
Nice of you to join the rest of us.
What happened?
I'm pushing the pram. Said monkey travelled from a tree and landed on the pram. My maternal instinct obviously kicks in, so I take Ted...
You cuddled the monkey.
I took Ted out of the pram, and then the monkey got hold of the bag attached to the pram. In he went, spreading monkey DNA over all of the contents.
What? How big is the monkey? What, that big?
A bit smaller.
You sure it wasn't a squirrel? was it like this?
I think you'll find, Rob. I think you'll find, Rob, it was like this. You've not been listening, have you?
I'm not paying attention. What do you think, Lee? Did it ring true?
There is not a single element to that story that sounds believable.
You're the boss, but I think it's a massive lie.
Gotta be a lie, then.
You're saying it's a lie?
Gotta be a lie.
OK, Alex, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Oh, my Lord!
Yes, it's true. Alex's bag was hijacked by a one-armed monkey. And look, we have a picture. That is the monkey in the bag at the time. That's terrifying. Henning, you're next.
As a kid, my parents denied me chocolate, so every Easter, I had to run around the garden and hunt the Easter onion.
The Easter onion, yes. David, where'd you begin?
Them were the days.
Why were you denied chocolate?
It's not good for you, is it?
And why did you hunt an onion? Why didn't you just say, I don't give a damn where that onion is. It's not a treat.
Well, you do what you're told to do, innit? As a kid.
So you would look for the onion, and you would find the onion, and you would say...
I'd say, da ist die Zwiebel.
What?
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 Well, they in Germany say, there's the onion.
What would happen then?
Then I would hold it aloft. And...
Like a World Cup.
And at what point in your family's Easter celebrations would the onion hunt occur?
well, when on Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday, in the morning on Easter Sunday.
I would be out in the garden.
So, but before your parents were up, you were already out there.
Henning, do you get on with your parents?
Very well, yeah.
Are they nice?
Yeah, I mean, my father is dead, but he was a really jolly fella, and yeah, my mother is all right, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't do the speech at the funeral.
Once you track the onion down, Henning, would you tuck into it?
Yeah, you have a bite.
Raw?
So,
Of course.
So you're very pleased, you held the onion aloft, and then you took a bite out of it.
I do feel like you're more enchanted by onions than we are.
But obviously they mean a lot to me, because I knew Easter Sunday it was time to go in the garden and hunt the Easter onion.
What are you thinking, Rachel?
I was half believing him until the biting into it.
They're quite solid, aren't they? It's like a tennis ball, isn't
Yeah.
it?
The thing is, I can bite into an onion because I wasn't allowed chocolate. That means my teeth are good.
Yeah.
Would your mother and your father, when he was alive, would they share the experience?
He would occasionally bite in an onion.
You'd hold it aloft, they'd say, well done, little Henning, and they'd all... Look what Henning has done. And then... He's holding it aloft, quick. Get the camera. And then, would they also tuck into the onion?
It was... Just thinking of that onion makes me eyes water.
What do you think? Is that truth?
What do you think?
Well, even though he started crying at the memory, I don't... They're crocodile tears.
He does seem very moved, doesn't he?
What do you think, Alex?
I hope it's true, but I think it's not.
I think it's a lie.
It's a lie. You're saying it's a lie. Henning, did the Easter Bunny bring an onion?
Sadly, it's a lie.
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Oliver. So, Rachel, what is Oliver to you?
This is Oliver. He once came to my rescue when I jumped off a bridge by mistake.
Alex, how do you know Oliver?
This is Oliver, and I once took a worm into the DIY store where Oliver works and asked him to colour match some paint to it.
Finally, David, what is your relationship with Oliver?
This is Oliver, and we've become friends since he was cast as me in the German version of Peep Show.
Where do you want to begin,
Let's
Lee?
start with Rachel. Where were you, first of all?
France.
And why did you accidentally jump off a bridge?
Because it was a sort of party in the countryside.
I mean, he looks French.
And I wandered away.
No facial expressions.
Yeah, but if he has no facial expressions, he'll look German. It'll give it away. So, Rachel.
So it was dark, it was night, and I jumped over a stone wall to go for a wee.
Classy.
And then it wasn't a wall, it was a bridge.
And it was a sudden drop of how far?
2 metres? 2 metres?
A 2 metre drop?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was going to be more dramatic.
I'm not very
2
good
metres?
With, I'm not very good with...
So you'd have been all right?
Well,
Yes,
she
I'm all right,
clearly
look.
didn't die.
But you didn't... Did you actually do the jump, did you say? Or did he stop you before you jumped?
No, I was in the river.
Oh, you did fall into the
Yeah,
river?
yeah.
2 metres? I mean, what flashed through your mind when you were falling? That was quick.
I'm fine. 2 or 3. I'm not very good with...
Right, do a different system. I want you to imagine now that you've jumped and then tell us when you've fallen, and I'll use my...
OK,
so
ready?
do the run and jump. No, that's 4 metres. 4 or 5 metres, that.
I think it probably was.
That's the height of this ceiling, that.
That is unsurvivable. So, but what happened then? So you land in a ditch, and then Oliver comes, says, "Oh, mademoiselle," and then...
Is he French? Or is English?
But I'm enjoying this.
Well, I thought it's all happening in France.
Yeah, we were in France.
They don't have to be French to be in France.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the world's problem would be solved if everyone just stayed where they're from.
So, you've jumped over the wall, you land in the water. What happens then?
So I was a bit hurt, and then I started shouting.
What did you shout?
Well, help. And then Oliver came with a couple of other friends from the party we were having, and they lean over the bridge, form a sort of human chain.
Oh, it's all
like,
getting a bit Three Stooges now, is it?
arms round ankles situation.
Oh, they're holding onto his ankles.
Arms round ankles.
Wow. So you had 2 people or 3 in the chain?
3 including me.
So there was a
Why
person
they pull
holding
you back up from the... What are these Chinese acrobats? Who was your flip at the end?
It worked. Like, I got out, and I've lived to tell the tale.
So, Alex, what was your lie again in regards to Oliver?
So I took a worm into a worm into a DIY store where Ollie works and said, "Can you make me some paint this colour?"
The worm on its own? Or in a bit of furniture?
Furniture? not a woodworm. I think she means an earthworm.
Like a garden worm. What colour was it, Alex?
Well, this is the thing, Stace. Brown, traditional.
Yeah.
But if you look at the little belly of a worm, it's got this lovely brick pink kind of hue to it. No, I was going to say like your shirt, but no, not that. Not like that.
I do not want my house in that colour.
No.
I'm really joking. I love the shirt.
I still don't understand the claim.
Right, so what she's saying is she took a worm from the garden.
Yeah.
Okay? An earthworm.
Yeah.
What do you call them in German?
Worm.
OK. So when she said worm, why didn't you understand what she meant? Because that's exactly what she said.
Which room was it, Alex?
It was the guest bedroom.
The guest bedroom.
So
Stop them staying too long.
That bit I understand, but what's Oliver got to do with it?
He works in the shop. He works in the shop. I'll tell you one more time, then this is it. He works in the shop. She took a worm. He colour matched it. She went home, painted the guest bedroom. Here's the question, though.
Yeah.
Why not photograph it? Why'd you have to take the worm in?
Because they put it on the slide, and then the machine will tell them which colours they need.
It was living, was it?
No, dead.
Did you kill it, or did you find it dead?
Why are you asking awkward questions?
So you painted your guest bedroom in earthworm pink. Did you not find, you know that horrible thing when birds smash into the windows? Was that not happening more and more? Wow, look at the size of that one!
You say to Ollie, look, and it's a bit odd, but could you match this colour?
Yeah.
How did Ollie respond?
He said you should see some of the things that people bring in
Oh,
wanting
good.
to be matched.
What did he tell you?
Like what?
Give us some
Well,
examples.
that's all he said. You should see some of the things. And I went,
Oh, but you didn't say like what. You weren't interested at all.
she just
If
wants
someone
a
said to
colour.
me, you should see some of the things that people
Listen.
bring in, and you went, that's all right, I don't want to know. You would have said, tell me.
No! Lee, when I go to B&Q, I'm there to complete the task. There is no dilly-dallying. We're in and out.
No, I've seen the one show. You can pad things out. I've done the one show, and you spent 15 minutes, and this is genuinely true, talking to me and Billy Ocean about elastic bands.
Well, I mean, we were thin on the ground for guests that week, obviously.
All right, now what about David? Just remind us of how you happen to really know Oliver.
Oliver and I became friends when he was cast as me in the German version of Peep Show.
Oh, yes.
OK, so first of all, what is the German version of Peep Show called?
It's called Camera Heads. Or
Camera Heads?
In German, I think it's Camera Kopfen. It hasn't been on yet.
It hasn't been on yet?
It hasn't been on
But
yet.
I
When
feel
does it
like
start?
Peep Show's had its day, hasn't it? So why...
See, that was unlike Alex's put down of Lee. That was unprovoked.
David, I love you, and I loved the Peep Show when it was on a long time ago. But I mean, I feel like the German Peep Show would have been looking to cast it a long while
Well,
back.
what series are they on?
They filmed the first series, and it's on soon.
So he's
or
not...
perhaps never. Maybe they hate it.
No, we give everything a go.
That would be a great title for a history of Germany. They really do.
And you say you've become friends.
Yeah.
How has this friendship blossomed, David?
Oh,
Because I've known you for 11 or 12 years now, and I would barely call you an acquaintance.
Thank you.
How come old Fritz here suddenly your mate?
Well, I don't know. We just, we clicked more. We met when some of the people making the German show came to meet the production team here. And
You would think they exported to Germany before it's dead in the water. That's the thing.
All right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team. Is Oliver Rachel's helpful hero, Alex's paint pal, or David's Deutsche double?
Stacey, are you leaning towards anybody?
For sure. I think he works at a homeware store and he helped Alex pick the paint.
Yeah, I think we can definitely rule out Rachel's.
Yeah.
That didn't make no sense whatsoever. I stick a 5 on Alex.
You put a 5 on Alex?
I'm with my brother Henning.
And you're saying Alex as well?
Uh-huh.
It's Alex and the worm.
I think it's Rachel, but I'm going to go with my team and say it's Alex.
Right. Oliver, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Oliver, and I came to Rachel's rescue when she accidentally jumped in the river.
Thank you very much, Oliver. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with Stacey.
I was once so cold, I shivered my skirt off.
David's team.
Where were you?
So I was round my cousin's house, and we were all outside, and we were all showing off. Everyone was having a beer.
When was it, Stace?
I was probably about 15, 16. And anyway, so everyone was out on good form, and then it just turned quite cold, that transition from day to night, it gets a bit chilly. But I still had the summer get-up on, and so...
What kind of skirt was it?
It was like a mini skirt.
And did you get thinner during the night?
I think actually a couple of lads had come to meet us on their bikes, and so we're talking...
What sort of bikes were they?
It's great when someone's so London that they've got 2 syllables for bikes.
I'm actually Luton. I mean, we've got a German guy, a northern guy, and 2 Welsh individuals here, and we've only picked up on my accent.
Didn't understand the word you said.
Yes, we were all just talking, and then I was talking to this lad, and I really quite fancied him, actually. And then I was sort of shivering, and I shivered my miniskirt right off, and I didn't even realise. And, like, everyone was laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've...
Are you about to say I've chatted to young fellas and dropped my skirt as well? Where's this going, Alex? Because you bailed out of that as soon as you started. Oh, no, I'll tell you. No, I won't, actually. No, I won't.
I mean, I know where this are wrong. I've danced in just tights without realising it was on the floor. So
this
can happen.
This can happen. I've known it happen with a bath towel, sort of...
What was going on under the skirt and what were you left with?
Well, I had a big pair of knickers on.
Oh, great.
Like PE briefs.
When you say PE briefs,
yeah,
you mean ones that you would wear for PE, not ones that you've had an accident in.
I did also wet myself in high school, but that's a totally separate story. And we...
Tell you what, if we ask you back, and it is an if, save that story for them.
Okay.
So you didn't notice.
No.
So
well,
what alerted you to it?
Everyone was laughing. I was like the joke of the night.
Yes.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit like the Onion story.
What, in that it's not true?
What do you think, David? I mean, she's painted a vivid picture.
I think, the combination of... What were you drinking? Cider?
Something like that.
Yeah, cold, fit boy. I think the skirt would be the last thing you'd worry about, and so what if it's round your ankles? No?
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. So you think it's true?
Well, I'm going true.
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? Well, it's plausible. So I'll say true.
Say true.
Okay.
Right, Stacey, truth or lie?
It is, in fact... true!
Wow, it's true. Stacey did once shiver her skirt off. Next. It's Lee.
I once got my head stuck in a set of railings whilst trying to show my kids how I once got my head stuck in a set of railings.
True. David's team.
Yes, true, I think.
Just true. Just true.
Where were the railings?
Which time do you mean?
The second time.
The reenactment was at my house, the railings at the front of my house.
And you said to your children, these railings bring back memories of when...
Well, they're very... that's how it started. I said, they look very similar to the railings I had as a child. I said, have I ever told you the story of the time I got my head stuck in the railings? They said, no, Father, do tell. And I tried to paint the picture with words. And as you know, I'm not great at that. So in the end, I just got frustrated. It's not that hard to follow. Look, I'll just show you. Come here.
And where did the original incident take place? The railing incident?
Should we call it Railings 1? The 70s railings.
Yeah.
The 70s railings happened in my hometown.
What happened? So you're stuck?
Well, the first incident ended with the fire brigade being involved.
Yep.
And where were the railings? They were in your hometown, but where specifically?
Railings 1, they were also in my house.
On the front garden of your house?
Yes, yes. We tried it in the upstairs bathroom, but they didn't look nice.
Railings 1.
We were struggling to get out of the bath. Oh, these are...
Railings 1, the fire brigade was called.
Yes, correct.
And what did they do?
They had to saw one of the railings.
Yeah.
What age were you for Railings 1?
I was about 9.
So this is a very scary occurrence for a child of 9. How did you react? Were there little tears?
There was little tears, yeah. Oh, Mother, my head is stuck in the rails, I said, vocally. I'll never forget, she came out with a glass of wine and a cigarette and laughed for about 25 minutes.
And how were you extricated after Railings 2?
Yes.
That means how did they get you out of the railings?
We tried all sorts of different systems. The kids started off with Lurpak.
How far apart are the railings?
Oh, about 40 years.
Railings 2.
Railing 2.
I think we can...
About the size of his head, obviously.
Well,
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be stuck, would he?
I know
I can
it's
tell you
About this
exactly.
far apart.
Did you not think that your bonce was going to get stuck in there?
So I thought what would happen is I'd go in and it'd be a tight squeeze to get them out, but I'd still get it out. But I'd still have sort of proved my point that it's tighter to get it out than it is to put it in.
So did the fire... What happened next?
So my head's in the railings.
They've tried butter.
Railings 2.
Railings 2. Railings 1, fire brigade. It's over.
It's finished.
They've sawed through one of the things, they bent it apart a bit, you got out. Fine.
Yeah. Well, there's more to it than that.
What more?
Well, it's a long story. My mum fell in love with one of them and left my father. Okay. That's a whole different episode.
Railings 2,
Yeah.
they tried butter.
Yes. They tried butter. They tried olive oil. I'm talking about the second incident, not my mum and the fireman.
Yeah.
What did they try? They tried olive oil, they tried butter, they tried soap. They tried an array of lubricants I have in my house.
So at this point, on either side of your head, there's quite a clot of slippy goose.
I'm not going to pretend it was a nice image, because it wasn't.
Yeah.
Especially given that my backside was facing the road. And particularly that I was stupid I was only in my boxer shorts.
You in your boxer
Because I thought this will take a second. No one passes by my house.
This will only take a second, so I'll take my trousers off first.
Did you get scared?
I was apprehensive that someone would phone the fire brigade and an old wizened fireman would turn up and say,
I remember you.
"You've done it again, haven't you?"
How did you get out? What worked in the
I'll
end?
tell you what worked in the end. Brute force.
What are you saying, truth or lie?
I think lie.
I think go with your heart.
Yeah.
OK, lie.
David's team is saying it's a lie. Lee, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
That noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that Lee's team have no points and David's team have 5. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night. Good evening and welcome to a very special edition of previously unseen clips from this series of Would I Lie to You? Joining Lee Mack tonight, Bob Mortimer, Emma Bunton, John Richardson, Debbie McGee, Rory Reid, Joe Brand, Daisy May Cooper and Henning Vane. And joining David Mitchell tonight, Alex Jones, Olivia Coleman, Aston Marigold, Diane Morgan, Lucy Porter, Dion Dublin and Sean Williamson. We'll begin with round 1, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And John is first up.
At home, if I need to remember to do something, I will put my slippers on the wrong feet and won't swap them back until I've done it.
David's team.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we can go straight to an answer.
So, John, was it the truth? Wait a minute.
So you put your slippers on the wrong feet to remind you that you've got something to do?
Yes.
As like a knot in the handkerchief?
Yes, I stopped carrying a handkerchief around the house in sort of the mid-19th century.
Yeah. I still carry a handkerchief. I won't get it out because, of course, it's encrusted with snot.
Hi, girls.
you not just use your phone and put an alarm on or something?
You'll spot the generation gap here. Look.
I quite often set an alarm on my phone. I've got an alarm set on my phone now to remind me to put the bins out later.
Yeah, but that's kind of different to what Aston's doing. Yours is sort of an early onset tactic, isn't it?
I love the way you leant forward so happy then as well. I set an alarm on my phone.
Let's go back to Mr. Cool with his shoes on the wrong feet. What sort of thing would you use it to remind yourself to do?
Well, we have moved house recently, so I very often
Remind yourself not to go back to the old house.
I'll be unpacking something and I'll think, oh, I'll put that picture up and I'll go up to get a hammer from the hammer room. And then on the way up, I'll see something else that needs doing. I'll think, oh, I'll put that washing away. And then by the time I'm putting the washing away, I've forgotten about the picture.
Paint a picture for the viewers who are wondering what sort of slippers you wear.
They're a sort of blue... They're a sort of corduroy slipper, David, you would like. I mean, they're almost sort of... They look the same. It's just sometimes I put them on the wrong way by accident, and I think, what have I got to do? And I think, oh, no, I've just put them on the wrong foot.
What are you thinking, David's team?
What do you think?
I would say it's true.
Yeah, I think it's a good system.
It's so plausible, isn't it?
I'm going to adopt this. I'm thinking of swapping my shoes now to make sure I don't forget about the bins later.
So, John, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Diane, you're next.
Possession.
Right, there's a box underneath your desk, Diane. Could you open the lid, read the card out first, and then take out the item?
Every time I lose a tooth, I put it in a pot. This is that pot.
Right, Lee's teeth.
Now, I'm confused because my children are watching this. Why didn't the tooth fairy take them?
Well, they did some.
Because if you was to put that under your pillow, you'd get about 700 quid.
Are there teeth in there now?
Yes.
Okay.
So why did you decide to start just collecting them?
Something to do, isn't it?
So can I come and get it?
You can go and get it if you want to, yes.
All right.
You lost weight, you look great.
As rehearsed, well done. Thank you. I'll take the lid.
Yeah.
I feel like a very grumpy fairy. There's a quid under your pillow, love.
Oh, my God! Oh, wow.
Wow.
Huge!
That's a big one.
It's like a cat's tooth.
More like a fang.
This one's quite decayed.
Yeah, they're not healthy-looking teeth.
No.
She's from Bolton.
Can you talk us through them, Diane? Do you remember which one comes from where?
Well, they all came from my mouth.
I appreciate that, but in which parts of the mouth?
Can you explain this one? Because that is just...
That's like a dinosaur tooth. It's very long and sharp.
Well, you know that it's not just the top of your teeth that you can see. They go down into your gums.
Oh, yeah, I went to school.
What scares me is if this isn't true, whose teeth are they?
If I find out the producer of this show has pulled out his children's teeth for the sake of this show, I will genuinely say, well done, mate.
You can probably buy children's teeth online.
What do you think, Rory? Is she telling the truth?
I think she has to be telling the truth because she doesn't strike me as a person warped and deranged enough to collect other people's teeth.
No, I don't think... No. I better explain how this show works. If she's not telling the truth, it means that this is as new to her as it is to us. It doesn't mean I'm lying because they're not my teeth.
All right, it's true.
It's true.
I hope it's true.
OK, true.
You're saying it's true?
Yeah.
OK, Diane, truth or lie?
It's actually true.
Why would you do that?
Bob, you're next.
My first taste of fame was when the local newspaper dubbed me the Cockroach King.
David's team.
What was the newspaper?
My local. It was called the South London Press.
So, are you from South London?
I was in the lead-up to the headline, The Cockroach King.
While were you in the public eye doing what?
I was a solicitor at the time, and I sued the local authority because of cockroach infestations in the council houses. Yes! That's what I did.
And of course, it was that kind of style in court that won the day.
We settled outside of court, actually. But I had to change the names because these are real legal proceedings that we're talking about.
Right. Well, why does the fact that it's real legal proceedings mean you have to change the names?
Because I don't think it's fair to say that, let's say she's called Barbara Lighthouse. Lived in the horror of cockroach infestation.
Were you representing Barbara Lighthouse?
I was, yes.
She'd engaged your services?
She's engaged my services. I visited her property.
Must have been ages to get to the top.
There were Egyptian cockroaches. So I had an idea, right? I said, I bet this is bad for your mental health, living with cockroaches. And I took them to the magistrate's court on a private criminal prosecution under the Public Health Act.
Why are you counting every letter in the same? Are you working out how much to charge her?
You mentioned the Egyptian cockroach.
The Egyptian cockroach,
How
yeah.
many? I wasn't aware there were different types.
They live in the concrete, and they can actually live off the concrete that the buildings are made
So,
of.
so, Bob,
They eat concrete?
Yep.
Bob, they got some hard cockroaches. They live in the concrete.
They nip out to go behind the fridge or the cooker, or to turn the light out.
What were the size of these Egyptian cockroaches?
They're long and thin, slip right in.
That's my profile on Tinder.
It is odd the cockroach king would suggest a champion of the cockroach rather than an opponent.
Or in fact, their leader.
Yes.
Did you lead the cockroaches away like the Pied Piper?
No, I didn't. What happened was, I got an expert from the University of Cambridge called Broccoli High Kicks. Again, I've changed his name. His brief from me was, can you in any way argue that this is contrary to public health? He confirmed it, went to court. It's all coming ever so clear now. We went to court, yeah. Ronnie Omlets was the housing officer.
The weird thing is you haven't changed his name, have you?
And what was she called? Barbara Lighthouse. Barbara Lighthouse brought a clear jar of the cockroaches with her and poured them over Ronnie Omlets. Right? Of course, he was very frightened, didn't know what to do, at which point Barbara Lighthouse said, I think I've made my point, you know, to the housing officer.
Yeah.
This is what I live with. So the council agreed to rehouse. Next day, the cockroach king.
Right, what's he going to say, Dave? What do you think?
It's that bizarre that only Bob could make it up, so I think that's true.
That doesn't make sense. If you're saying only Bob could make it up, then he could have made it up.
No, only Bob can make it up like that.
Right.
So convincing.
Yeah. So we're in trouble, aren't we? Because you're saying that if anyone else had said it, it would definitely be true because they couldn't have invented it. The one person who's saying it is also coincidentally the only human who could also have invented it.
Yes.
What a terrible set of circumstances. You think it's true? Do you think it's true?
Yes, let's say it's true.
We're going to go true.
OK. Now, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
Emma, you're next.
OK. When I was Baby Spice, I mainly just ate baby food.
David Steve.
So you only ate baby food?
Yeah. So
Forget-
I moved in with the girls. We lived together, and we didn't have very much money. So I used to eat baby food.
What were the other girls eating at this stage?
Beans on toast, corned beef and rice.
Corned beef and rice? Who was eating that?
Who do you think?
I'd go for Mel B.
Yeah.
No, I'll just eat it.
It would never occur to me to eat baby food. How did you discover that?
It was either my nephew or a cousin, a baby, and I must have just tasted it.
What were you were stealing baby food off a child.
I still do it now with my own kids.
What were your stools like?
I don't think that question's ever been asked before on this show.
I'm going to answer that.
But because
you
having...
don't have to answer
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Because
Please.
having been an active father with nappy changing, I know the effect that stuff has on your system.
I think there's a trajectory. What you're talking about is when a baby goes from just having milk to having the first baby food, there is a marked change in the nature of the stool. Basically, it turns into normal excrement, which is not very nice, from being extremely, you know, the most pleasant of the excrements is the excrement of a baby before it is weaned. I'm not saying it's an actively nice substance, but of all the excrements, it's definitely my favourite.
I've got to just say, David, on behalf of the team, thank you for getting us past Sean's awkward moment.
Thank you. If you like, I'll rank all of the excrements. So I would prefer horse to dog. Who wouldn't? No one puts dog on their roses.
Tell you what, why don't you relax for a little bit? So, what are you going to say?
I think it's a lie.
What do you think?
I think it's false.
We're going to go lie.
You're saying it's a lie. Right. Emma, truth or lie?
Unfortunately, it's true.
David, you're next.
I can walk from my house to the corner shop on only one gulp of air and regularly do so just for fun.
Stacey.
How far's the corner shop from your house, David?
4 miles. No, it's I mean, it's yards.
And when do you take the gulp?
Earlier that day.
Is it before the moat or after the moat?
It's as I clear the drawbridge.
As the drawbridge has landed, and you've stepped off the drawbridge.
Absolutely.
Approximately how many houses are there from you and the
To the corner shop, I think 25. But these are just estate workers' cottages.
But so there's a...
And past them very, very quickly.
Why did you go to the shop and think, I'll take a gulp of air and hold your breath till you get there?
It started on a day where I had had a problem with serial hiccups. One way of getting rid of hiccups is to hold your breath, but I was also going to the shop and I was trying to hold my breath as long as possible.
And is it not an awkward moment when one of your neighbours passes you and says, "Morning, David," and you go, "Morning"?
Yes, and on occasion I have given up on the holding the breath in order to greet someone and seem like a normal human.
Why don't you demonstrate it for us?
You want me to walk back and forth across the set holding my breath?
Yes.
And that, in your view, would achieve something? I won't be able to talk you through it, of
No,
course.
of course
'cause I'll be
not. We
holding my
will
breath,
observe you.
Which is one of the many reasons this is such an ill-fated idea.
Shall we be your wife and child?
Well, they're at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, or I mean, you could be a grandfather clock and a piano. You're not part of this.
OK, so you're saying goodbye to Lucy, your lovely wife, and your boy who shot up Diane. All right, off you go. You're heading to the corner shop.
Farewell, beloved family, for I must go to the shop.
See you, Dad.
Yeah.
All right, you get to the front gate.
Morning, David. right. Why did you never talk to me?
I'm stuck here with a baby and you're parading around the street.
Your flies are undone.
Debbie said my flies are undone, and I just exhaled and went, are they? So, no, the experiment is completely ruined. My flies.
So, what are you going to say, Lee?
I don't believe in the shop.
No.
What? I'm imagining that David lives in the countryside somewhere.
Yeah. No, I've been to David's house. It's a ghetto. The thing he's missing out is that when he gets to the shop, all his crew are hanging around outside.
Yeah.
Ah, doing your graffiti again. Can I play?
I don't think it's true.
I don't think so.
Well, I'll go with my team and say that's not true.
You're going to say it's a lie. David, truth or lie?
Well, it is a lie.
Yeah.
Henning, you're next.
I once presented a woman at work with what I now realise was a deeply inappropriate gift.
David C.
What was the gift?
Dustpan and brush.
And what was the context in which you gave her a dustpan and brush?
Was her birthday.
And where were you working?
That was the company I was working for before I left for Britain.
And what did they do?
Essentially, they tried to bundle the demand of golf clubs.
Oh.
They tried to what? Bundle. So they wanted... So not golf club as in a stick, but a golf club as in the whole thing with 18 holes and facilities.
Yes. And they did what to them?
Tried to bundle it.
Bundle?
You know, that's a company that tried to bundle 18 old golf clubs.
You know, when you run a golf club, you've got certain needs. You need balls for the driving range, you need flags for the holes and whatnot. And obviously the manufacturers, they overcharge you, whilst if all the clubs come together and buy...
What the hell are you talking about?
What they're doing?
I'm only speaking on behalf of the nation.
I think I'm getting there. This was a company that organised separate golf clubs to act as a consortium in order to buy golfing equipment more inexpensively.
That is exactly, concisely the business plan. Exactly right.
And what was your role?
Chief bundler.
Trying to recruit new members to the consortium, and went round to golf clubs for a jolly and then said, how about you need a flag?
How much you...
It sounds ever so slightly like a sort of like a mob protection racket. It sounds like you turned up and go, what a shame if something would have happened to his flag. Oops, it snapped.
Was it particularly difficult selling the bunkers? Genuine question, genuine interest.
And why did you think that a dustpan and brush would be an appropriate present to start with?
Because we were, the day before, she was saying how much cleaning she had to do at home. And then I was in the supermarket, and then I thought, oh, look at that, that would be a nice present.
Henning, could you reenact the face of the gift recipient when she opened the present?
Do you want me to be you and you be the gift recipient?
Yeah, give me.
I'll do my best to you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I have seen you trying to sell the flags and the clubs, like me. You do such a great job. We are bringing together so many of the different golf clubs in Germany. We should get a Nobel Peace Prize. But instead, I got you this.
Oh, thank you very much.
Alex, when you're there on the One Show, do you exchange gifts? Do you and Matt Baker? Do you... It's me, Matt Baker.
Matt has bought me a variety of gifts over the years. Last year, a cup and saucer. It's one of those you'd put in a posh cupboard in your kitchen. There's only one ever, and it's in that one.
It's nice, I always think, in your house to put a few things aside for people to pack away when you're dead. I've got a few things in my house. You put them there, you sort of think, yeah, I won't be touching that again. But one day, when I'm dead, someone will have to deal with that.
All right, well, David, what do you think?
I think we'll all die one day.
Is it the truth?
It's true. I think it's true.
Well, I think we think it's true.
It's true?
Yeah.
OK. Henning, was it true or was it a lie?
Of course it's true.
Joe, you're next.
I was once favourite to win an athletics event. But ended up coming last after an incident in a toilet cubicle.
David's team.
Well, right. OK, what was the athletics event?
It was a javelin.
The javelin, and when were you entered into a javelin competition?
When I was at school.
How old were you?
I was about 16.
And you were the favourite?
I was.
Why?
Because I could chuck it a long way.
How far? How far, roughly?
Probably...
For God's sake, make it less than 110 metres, which is the world record. Give yourself a fighting chance.
111 metres. I would say about 20 or 30 metres.
Were you also good at running fast?
Ha, ha, ha.
I mean, to be fair, I think that was a genuine question.
Yeah. I
To
see
get
you
the
mean
momentum to
running.
throw it.
Yeah, OK. I did actually, for a short time, hold the 100-metre record for our school. That was because I was having a fag behind the bike sheds and I heard the dinner bell.
What was the incident in the toilet that handicapped your performance?
I was preparing for sports day, the afternoon, so I went in the toilet to have a fag, and I had a box of matches, and I struck one to light my fag with, didn't blow it out properly, put it back in the box, and the box exploded in my javelin-throwing hand.
Oh. Wow. So this is a story about a serious burn.
Yeah, so I had to throw the javelin at sports day with my left hand.
Well, Johnny, what do you think? How does this strike you?
I think it could be true.
And you think it's... True. OK, true.
You were saying it is true. Joe, truth or lie?
It is true.
Lucy, you're next.
I once continued with a first date, even though I'd been sick in my handbag.
Lee's team.
When was this?
Last week. No, it wasn't. It was, I was about, I'd say 22, 21, 22.
And why had you been sick in the handbag?
I got very drunk. We'd gone to an art gallery. It was like a private, fancy one, and he'd said, let's go... He was a bit older and posher, and he said, let's go to this art gallery.
How much older and how much posher? How much married?
He was terrible, terrible. He didn't have a chin, and he was...
Now, did he literally not have a chin? It's no wonder you vomited into your handbag.
So I'd got really drunk, and then he said, oh, I'll take you home. But we were on the bus.
The man who's a lot posher than you took you home on the bus.
Well, I'd normally have had to walk, so it was an upgrade.
How big was your handbag?
It was a sort of novelty leopard skin fur bag that I'd bought from a sort of student market.
Oh, God, it was in a fur bag. Was he starting to go, you sure that's dead?
He didn't notice at all.
How were you sitting? You must have been sat next to him.
Yeah, I was sat next, but I think he was looking out the window or something.
No, were you going home? Or were you going... Where were you going?
Yeah, he said, I'll walk you home.
Yeah.
And I walked, and I was aware that there was dripping.
Oh!
But he didn't seem to notice.
Well, he was older. Maybe he was leaking too.
So he walked you back to your house?
Yes. I think he wanted to come in, and I said, no, I've just been sick.
Oh, you told him then?
Yeah, and then nothing happened, and I never saw him again.
But presumably your keys... Oh, my word, did you have to reach in...
Wouldn't that have been great? Would you like to come in for a coffee? OK. You get to the front door. Actually, I've actually got to go home.
Do you know, I don't think men's standards are that high, are they?
All right, what are you thinking? Debbie?
Well, I haven't quite got there yet, because if you're sick in your handbag over all your stuff, it is going to seep out a lot.
See, first, she said it was dripping out, and it would be leaving a trail.
It's smelly.
At least he can find his way back to the bus stop.
So what's he going to say?
True.
Bob thinks it's true.
True.
I'm going to go with my team and say true.
And say it's true. Lucy, truth or lie?
It is.
I'm afraid that's all we've time for on this special edition of Would I Lie to You. Thank you for watching. Good night. Good evening and welcome to a special edition of the very best bits from this series of Would I Lie to You. Joining Lee Mack tonight, Bob Mortimer, Emma Bunton, Joe Brand, Thomas Jaffanacker, Scarlett Moffat, Stacey Dooley, Ellie Taylor and Rod Gilbert. And joining David Mitchell tonight, Georgia Toffolo, Richard Osman, Alex Jones, Big Nasty, Dion Dublin, Lucy Porter and Sean Williamson. First up, it's Toof.
Right. I instructed Deliveroo to block my orders after my bacon sandwich addiction got out of hand.
Right. So how many bacon sandwiches were you getting?
When it really, really got bad, it was about 4 or 5 times a week.
I mean, just how posh are you where you're ordering out for bacon butties?
Where was the restaurant you were getting them from?
Well, actually, the most embarrassing part of it is that, you know, I can get a bacon sandwich a mere 45 seconds away from my front door.
Were they delivering from the place that was that close?
Yeah. OK, right, hear me out. There is no greater joy than a bacon sarnie in bed, right?
Oh, I can think of something. Pot noodle!
Will Deliveroo deliver to your bed?
Well, no, you have to remove yourself from said bed and go to the front door. But
Well, hang on,
easier
if it's that close, you must be halfway to the shop at that point.
Your bacon sarnie addiction consists of 4 or 5 a week, which is sort of less than 1 a day.
Oh, that's a lot, though.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot of bacon
It's not
sandwiches.
an addiction, is it?
Well...
I mean, well, I've got a Weetabix addiction in that case.
Tell us about the bacon sandwich, Toof. Was it a bog standard one, or was it something a little bit special?
No, it's a classic. White bread, Tommy K, bacon, job done. Not
Tommy
toasted.
K, did you say? What does that mean?
Tomato ketchup.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you know that?
Tommy K was the name.
Tommy K, everyone knows what Tommy K
No,
is.
they don't. Don't get on
I
the
knew
kids'
what Tommy
bandwagon.
K was.
No, you didn't.
Even though I'm a man who prefers Bobby Brown, I did know what Tommy K was.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh, I did.
And would you order anything else with it, or was it just the bacon sandwich?
Well, it depends. If I'm feeling a bit fruity, I'd have an OJ, but...
Orange juice.
knew that.
Yeah.
Would you maybe add a bob? Would you add a bob to it?
Oh,
Shut
God.
up. Would you add a bob? A B.O.B., bit of butter? Didn't you know that? You're so old, Grandad.
Why did you block the Deliveroo account? Why didn't you just stop ordering them?
I tried that. I tried just not ordering, but my willpower is quite obviously not good enough. So I emailed the Deliveroo HQ and basically asked them. I thought it was quite funny at the time, but then
how
they
did you
actually
word
did block me. Hello, I've got a bacon sandwich addiction. Help, please block my account.
And did they get back to you?
No, but I then tried to order 2 days later and I couldn't log into my account. It's been reinstated since. I emailed again because it is actually quite annoying.
What did you do? What was that? How did you email? What was that?
Hello, I made an enormous mistake. Please, can I come back?
No, that was the email you sent to me.
Certainly did not.
What do you think, Ellie?
She's telling it well, but I don't think it's the truth.
Why?
Because, Lee, I think she's lying.
I think she's clearly insane. I think it's true. Absolutely true, 100%.
Lee?
Yeah, I'll say it's true.
You're going to say true? Tough. Truth or lie?
It is true. Yeah, it's true.
Bob, you're next.
Sorry?
It's you, Greg.
It's apple pie tonight.
Is it? Since Friday, then?
Yes.
Following advice from Chris Rea, I always crack an egg into my bath. I've done for 22 years.
We should say for any of the younger viewers, some of my fans, who Chris Rea was a very popular singer.
When did Chris Rea give you this advice, and in what context?
I was making a single for Middlesbrough Football Club's FA Cup appearance called Let's Dance, which I did with Chris Rea. And after we'd completed the recording, he popped me into the bath and there was an egg. It's an egg in it.
He popped you into the bath. It's been a long day, you must be very tired. I'll just pop you into the bath. Yeah. So where was this bath? Was it at the recording studio?
It's on a little island in the middle of the Thames. It's as rare as recording studio is.
So you've been recording, presumably, in a room without a bath?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you finish the recording, everyone's very happy with the track.
Yep.
And he says, Bob, you look tired. Maybe your joints are aching this way.
No, it's not exactly like that. He says, that's it, Bob, I think we've got that leg. That's your bedroom, that's your bath. I've popped an egg in there for you.
Is it Geordie?
Yeah.
He's like where I'm from, Middlesbrough.
Right.
But he's much more Middlesbrough than me, like.
And why would he put an egg in your bath? What was the thinking behind it?
I've never found out.
You've done it ever since.
All I know is that I woke up the next morning and I have never felt so alive.
Was the egg still in its shell, floating, or had he gone...
No, the white had dissipated. Does that work?
Yeah.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's non-greasy, which is a boon, isn't it?
Is it non-greasy?
Yeah, honestly.
It's less greasy than water without egg in it?
Do you have to mix it up, or do you just crack it and let it float?
Do you know what? You get in the bath, even in the bath where I am now, and you get in and you really don't want to burst the yolk. So the white goes, but the yolk's there, and you move like that, and you try and get it to come towards like that. And I don't know why, but you just do.
Have you ever had it get in your mouth?
You get it there like that. And then you get the yolk, and I use it for hair conditioner.
Really?
I don't have much hair, but to condition the hair on my skin.
So, just going back to the original occasion, Chris Rea had already run you a bath.
Yes.
I forgot about that detail.
I know, but if If you knew Chris, it's just so Chris. Yeah. Do you know, the other thing it was, is a couple of weeks later, he sent me a gold doily.
Why? To dry yourself off?
I don't know. But so, I'm just saying, these things are just so Chris.
Do you think that the way Bob describes what happens to the egg white, is that... He says it just dissipates. Is that
If your bath
plausible?
is hot, then you're going to have a poached white.
I'd have thought the white would turn white. And
Well,
there'd be bits of white.
How hot is your bath? Your bath is hot enough that an egg could poach.
Well, I don't know. Your claim is that it dissipates. I'm asking my team whether we believe that it would dissipate. Because if, for example, at the temperature of a bath, say 39 degrees Celsius, the white would turn opaque, then your story doesn't check out.
Agreed.
Yeah,
absolutely agreed.
I think...
What do you think, David?
I think it's fair to say that if anyone else had made this allegation about Chris Rea and an egg in their bath, we wouldn't be giving it a moment's consideration. Somehow, coming from Bob, it might be true. It's true.
I think...
You think it's...
I think it's true, because he's been about a bit, Bob.
No.
I think the white would poach.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the egg is the
the
important
chemical
part.
analysis of the behaviour of the albumin.
David, honestly, one thing, please don't base it on the albumin whitening. It does not happen. It does not. I can't have a bath at 80+ degrees.
Is that the temperature at which an egg white will
80 it'll start at about 80, yeah. Honestly, please don't base it on that.
What should I base it on, Bob?
George...
What are you going to say?
Instinctively, I believe it. We're going to go true.
You're saying true? OK, so, Bob, Chris Rea, eggs, baths, is it the truth or is it a lie?
This is awful.
I was telling a lie.
Of course it's a lie! He said Chris Rea put an egg in his bath! Of course it's a lie! It's obviously a lie! Who could possibly believe that?
Alex, you're next.
Right. On a recent trip to the zoo, my bag was hijacked by a one-armed monkey.
Leave.
What zoo was it?
London Zoo.
And which arm was it?
The left was missing, right intact.
As you look at it, or from the monkey's perspective?
His left was missing.
OK.
And why was it missing, Al?
I don't really know. I mean, we were merely visitors in the zoo, Stace. I didn't know the backstory of the monkey.
No, I accept that.
Who is we?
Me and my husband and our little boy.
Your little boy. So you've gone for a little family day at the zoo?
Yeah.
And aren't monkeys usually behind cages or behind glass?
Well, they are, apart from when you get to the rainforest section. And in the rainforest section, there are birds, there are monkeys, there are sloths. It's a free-for-all.
Did the monkey have a name? Because often they name them, don't they?
The monkey's name was Bandit.
Bandit?
As in one arm.
Oh, come on.
What sort of monkey? It wasn't a chimp, was it?
I'm not David Attenborough, I don't know. But
Excuse me, a chimpanzee, even though it looks like a monkey, isn't a monkey.
Well spotted. I deliberately said that.
Even though a chimp is totally, in every meaningful way, obviously it's a monkey, it's not a monkey. You know, it's a special place that's been made by biologists for pedants to reside, so that whenever anyone refers to a chimpanzee as a monkey like you did, then a pedant like me says, oh no, a chimpanzee isn't a monkey, and I've started to hate myself for that.
Nice of you to join the rest of us.
What happened?
I'm pushing the pram. Said monkey travelled from a tree and landed on the pram. My maternal instinct obviously kicks in, so I take Ted...
You cuddled the monkey.
I took Ted out of the pram, and then the monkey got hold of the bag attached to the pram. In he went, spreading monkey DNA over all of the contents.
What? How big is the monkey? What, that big?
A bit smaller.
You sure it wasn't a squirrel? was it like this?
I think you'll find, Rob. I think you'll find, Rob, it was like this. You've not been listening, have you?
I'm not paying attention. What do you think, Lee? Does it ring true?
There is not a single element to that story that sounds believable.
You're the boss, but I think it's a massive lie.
Gotta be a lie, then.
You're saying it's a lie?
Gotta be a lie.
OK, Alex, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Yes, it's true. Alex's bag was hijacked by a one-armed monkey. And look, we have a picture. That is the monkey in the bag at the time. That's terrifying. Sean, you're next.
Thank you very much. I once stole the shirt off a scarecrow in order to get into a nightclub.
Leasty.
Wow. OK. Was you not wearing anything before you went to the nightclub?
Me?
Yeah.
T-shirt, you see.
OK.
Oh, well, they wouldn't let you in?
Yeah, but well, it is, you know, it's all a bit more relaxed these days because the dress code isn't what it was back in the day.
What was the day? What year?
Back in in my day, or when this happened.
Well...
It was early 2000s.
Right, so early 2000s, you've gone to a nightclub. Where was this nightclub?
In Rochester.
Rochester is a town, right? And that's why it's got a nightclub in it. And scarecrows don't really tend to be used in towns because they're out in massive fields.
Thank you, Miss Martin.
So when did you find out you needed a shirt to get in the club? Did you go to the club?
When the bouncer said, you ain't coming in.
Right, and then you walked back to the scarecrow to get the shirt?
I walked back to the allotment.
This is very high-level play.
This is like chess, isn't it, between Sean and Joe?
Take that, Moriarty.
Do you live in Rochester?
No.
So how did you know there was an allotment in Rochester near the nightclub?
But I lived near it then.
Oh, I see.
It's like fencing, isn't it?
But then again, if you lived in Rochester, why didn't you just go home and get a shirt?
Oh, this gets better and better. Checkmate.
No. I was born in Chatham, but brought up in Maidstone. But my uncle lived in Rochester, and it was one of the allotments on his patch, so I knew where the allotments were. Apropos to the nightclub.
Miss Brown, back to you.
Can I ask, earlier
Yes,
you said you had a T-shirt and trainers and jeans on.
Yes.
And you thought it was a relaxed club, but then you went to the club and they said you need a shirt, but you're not allowed in a club with trainers on.
OK. The bouncer was a
Can
big...
I just say, Sean, you're the kind of person that every time you speak, you always sound like you're going to start it with, I'd like to change my story.
But is that the impression I'm just giving you?
For the sake of the tape, the accused has walked into the room.
The bouncer was a massive fan of EastEnders and was quite embarrassed at turning me away. So I think when he saw the effort I'd made, because I was already 8 pints to the wind, so when he saw the effort I'd made, I think he just couldn't bear turning me away again.
OK.
What do you think? Could this be true?
This is what I think. A man who knows exactly where an allotment is, because he knows the town so well, knows you can't get into the nightclub without collars. And for that reason, Sean, we find you guilty.
So what's he saying, Lee? You think it's a lie, don't you?
Lie.
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? You all think it's a lie?
We all think it's a lie.
Sean, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Nasty, you're next.
It says possession, but I was young. I was young.
there's a little box under your desk. If you take the item out of the box and put it on the desk, OK, pop it on the desk first, and then read out the card.
This is an ukabong. Me and my cousins would each make a ukabong to play the nasty family game, ukabong.
There we are. Lee's team.
So you're saying it's called an ukabong?
Ukabong. Ukabong.
How do you spell it, Nasty? Just spell it for Lee, because he's a bit slow.
U-K...
Yeah?
A.
Yeah.
And then bong.
Bong.
U-K-A.
And then bong. Bong.
How do you make it? What's it made of?
It's a sock. It's made out of socks.
Yeah. What's inside the sock?
More socks.
More socks.
Is it just lots of socks?
So, boom, basically, it's a family game, and everyone has their own ukabong.
Do you hit each other?
Yeah. It's your own tool.
So you whack people with that? With the ukabong?
Yeah, with your own ukabong, but there's stipulations to it. You've got to all be in a room, and you've got to turn off the lights, yeah? And the hit only counts, yeah, is if you hit someone and you say ukabong. If you hit someone, yeah, and you don't say ukabong, the whole room rushes you. And then my grandma says the first one who cries gets beaten. We be in my grandma's, yeah, up top room. Boom, there's like 15 cousins and my Uncle Simon, yeah? Boom. My Uncle Simon's a cool cat. He was a cool cat.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, boom now. Everyone's got their ukabong.
David is very nervous.
Yeah. I haven't even got my own ukabong. I'm defenceless.
Hang on a minute. No, I've got one here. There you go.
Thank you very much.
So, boom now, yeah? We're in the room now. It's bare... It's all dark and that. Swinging at everyone. Ukabong, ukabong. So then, boom, if I hit you, ukabong. Yeah. Obviously, it probably hurts. You go, oh. But then now, my Uncle Simon, yeah? We thought he had the special ukabong.
Oh, this is taking a sinister turn.
Man thought his ukabong was sent from God. Do you know what Uncle used to do? He used to put a tennis ball in his ukabong.
Do you know what? I thought it was going to be worse than that.
So, he would come with, like, Zeus's ukabong. One shot, KO! Everyone's out, starts crying. Grandma comes in. Everyone gets their ass passed. We have to read Bible.
If it's dark, how does everyone know that you've successfully ukabonged somebody? You could be lying.
You'll hear someone say ow, won't you?
Yeah, the owl. No, you're definitely going to hear an owl. And when Uncle Simon ones goes off, it's more of a...
What do you think, Scarlett?
I want to do it. Yeah. I really want to play it now. I think it's true.
Scarlett.
Yay, colour! Yes!
Hang on.
Yes! Ukabong!
This is fun, Come on.
Hey, guys, I've got a great idea. Let's all ukabong Rob.
There we are. That's what we pay our licence fee for. What are you thinking then, Lee? Why don't you go for a guess here?
What do you think?
I think it's 100% true.
You do? Why?
Yeah. Because it's just fun, isn't it? I can imagine you doing that. We did
Is that fun?
Ah!
Oh, sorry, ukabong.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no, I'll have to attack him.
That's just domestic violence without ukabong, bro.
Thomas.
I'm with the other two. I think it's absolutely true.
All think it's true. OK. Nasty. Truth or lie?
Truth!
Next up, it's Lee.
I was genuinely invited to Harry and Meghan's wedding today, but I said no because I had to come here and do this.
David's team.
Why were you invited?
Well, that, David, is as much of a shock to me as it is to you. I'm on
Do
the
you
telly.
know, for example, Prince Harry or Meghan Markle?
Well, I've met Prince Harry, and he was very nice, and he did say that he was a fan of this show. So he's definitely seen me, because I'm on this show.
If this is true, it's a bit of a blow to me and Rob, because...
Well, this is...
I wasn't invited. Maybe Rob was as well.
I really can't say.
I think we know if Rob was invited, he would be able to say.
Well, this is interesting, because I want to know if you were invited, because as soon as I got the invite, I met Prince Harry, and I know he's a fan of the show, so I immediately assumed that you two had been invited as well. So I went to phone you, and I phoned you first, and I put the phone down, because I didn't want to ask in case you hadn't been invited. I thought it wouldn't be a good idea.
Yes, it would be a horrible thing to let slip, wouldn't it?
Yes.
If you'd been invited, it would be a horrible thing to do to someone under any circumstances, even if it wasn't in public.
So you think he's going, OK, George Clooney...
Yeah.
David Beckham... Oprah Winfrey, Lee.
He didn't even know my surname.
I should point out to people watching at home that it is the royal wedding day today. As we record this, it happened today, didn't it?
And it was a lovely wedding as well.
Look, it brought people together, didn't it? And you know what I'm glad about? Yeah. I'm glad he wasn't there.
Yes. That would have spoiled it for me, I think.
Did it come through the post?
It went through my agent.
It was more like a booking. Were they expecting you to do some of your silly humour or something?
Did you have a +1 as well?
Yes, I did.
And so your wife was happy for you to come and do this instead of going to the royal wedding?
Well, actually, my wife couldn't go anyway. So that was the other problem as well. And then I thought, well, who would I take? And I did actually think of one of you two. I thought that's going to be more awkward. So but then I thought maybe it's not awkward if David's been invited, as I suspected, and Rob hasn't. I'll take Rob. And then we're all going. There was a lot of social etiquette. I was a mess.
That is the other question. Why didn't... Because the wedding finished...
Well, this is the irritating
about
thing.
1.
Yes,
and then there was a lunch.
I got the invite that said the wedding is going to be at 12 o'clock. And I thought in my head, no one would say 12 o'clock, meaning that's when the wedding is. That would mean, you know, you turn up at 12 o'clock and then you go through all the rigmarole of security, blah, 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 and actually the wedding's going to be about 2. Then you've got the actual ceremony, then you've got the meal. I wasn't going to get here because...
Yes, it's like when you buy theatre tickets. The time is just when they think you should leave home.
Look, lads, I appreciate you're angry.
Yeah. Very angry.
I didn't write the invites.
Very angry and very hurt and very bruised, whether this is true or not. That's the terrible thing, because my thought processes have gone down the lines of it being true, and it feels like I've been through it emotionally, even if I haven't.
OK, time to decide.
Well, I think it's unlikely. I'd love it to be true, but I think it's unlikely.
I wouldn't.
This has been one of the most psychologically damaging thought experiments I've ever gone through, and so I couldn't. I don't think I could pronounce the words. I think this is true. Oh, I just did.
You think it's true?
We're going to say lie.
I think lie.
Lie. We're going to say lie.
I've a horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach that it's true. It's like waiting with a specialist for a result.
Yeah. Ironically, if this is true, when that moment comes for both of us, it'll just be a mercy.
So, Lee, tell us. They think it's a lie. I pray it's a lie.
It is, in fact, true.
Well, I hope that's the last question of the evening.
Well,
how did you
thank
keep
you
that
for
secret?
watching. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for watching.
Oh, actually, there's something else as well. Sorry, I've got to tell you this as well, which is quite important. This is a true story as well. I was lying.
okay. It's all right.
It's all right. Yes. Praise be, it was a lie. Of course it was a lie. Lee wasn't invited, of course he wasn't, to Harry and Meghan's wedding.
Do you know what I think? I think the producers of this show are just trying to turn us against each other.
They're doing a good job. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night. To Would I Lie to You at Christmas, a very special edition filled with festive fibs. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a singer who also runs a charity shop selling vintage clothes. Last year, she made a profit of 3 guineas, 11 shillings and 6pence. It's Lily Allen. And a brilliant musician who's responsible for the most powerful Christmas release since the time I ate 23 Brussels sprouts. It's Noddy Holder. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, from Carshare, an actress who starred in Murder on the Blackpool Express about a coach trip to Blackpool. Talk about suffering for your art. It's Sean Gibson. And a comedian who years ago sold ice creams for a living. I don't know which year exactly, but I'm guessing 99. It's James Acaster. We begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They have no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Noddy is first up.
One December night, while dressed as Joseph, I had to shove a donkey off a country lane.
Please, team.
When was this, Noddy?
This would have been mid-70s.
So why were you dressed as Joseph?
Well, a friend of mine used to have a party every Christmas time, just before Christmas. And it was always fancy dress. And this particular year, he wanted to feature the Nativity. And I originally wanted to be Angel Gabriel.
Right.
But he said, I'm not having you, Angel Gabriel. You can be Joseph.
Why couldn't you be Angel Gabriel? Because of the accent? Oh, look, it's the little baby Jesus.
So I got an old curtain round me and a tea towel on my head.
Like tonight. So, whose party was it?
It was my best friend's party.
OK.
And...
Did they have a name, Noddy?
Swin. His name was Swin.
Swin? I wish you'd have said Big Ears, but carry on. So, where does the donkey...
So, the time was getting on. It was 1 o'clock. I thought I'd better make my way home. And when I get outside, the air hit me, and I felt a bit spacey, and I think somebody had spiked my drink. So I set off, and it sort of got worse and worse as I drove on. I was sort of blue flashing lights coming past me and all sorts.
Those would have been the police.
No, that comes later. Anyway, I'm driving, and I thought, I'll take the scenic route.
Right.
So I started to go down all these country lanes to make my way home. And suddenly, in the middle of the road, is a donkey. So I screeches to a halt, thinking, am I imagining this donkey, or is it a real donkey?
Am I really Joseph?
Is it possible it was just Elvis Costello turning up late to the party in fancy dress?
So I screeches to a halt, and I thought, I'd better get out and check. Well, I can't carry on. I couldn't drive round it. The lane was too narrow.
Yeah.
And I got out the car to feel if it was real or not.
Are you genuinely... So you're genuinely still not sure, even though you're right up to it? You have to feel it to
I had to feel it.
Can I ask you a question? Is this one big alibi for touching up a donkey?
So I get behind him.
Good idea. Safest place with a donkey, Noddy.
And start pushing him from behind.
Where's this story leading, Noddy?
Suddenly I hear,
Don't you mean E or E?
Of course, coming down the road is a cop car. Now, I'm used to, in those days, being pulled every night after late...
It's Christmas, Noddy, it's Christmas.
Anyway, they get out the car and do the usual. Here we are. Mr. Christmas, what's he doing now? As a last punchline, I said, I've been celebrating tonight because my wife's just had a kid. I thought it was pretty good at the time.
What do you think, James?
I think it's true, but it's just nice to listen to him tell a story, and I kind of forgot halfway through I'm meant to be knowing if it's true or not.
He's definitely telling the truth.
I think it's the truth.
I think true.
True?
True.
OK, we'll say
Saying it's true. Noddy, was it true or were you telling a lie?
It is true.
Yes, it's true. Noddy did shove a donkey off a road while dressed as Joseph. James, you're next.
One Christmas, on hearing I wasn't going to get the present I wanted, I tried to drown myself. In protest.
Stacey.
Tell us the story.
Well, I wasn't going to get the present I wanted.
Which was? What did you want?
The Spice Girls' debut album, Spice.
It's a lie.
That's so weird, because I did get it, and I did try and drown myself.
No! Don't applaud that. It's a great album.
How old were you then?
I was like 10 or 11.
Right.
So you wanted the album...
No, he really wanted it.
Stop right now. So you wanted the album?
Yes, I really wanted it.
In case they don't use mine in the edit, yeah? Well, can I just say stop right now?
Yeah.
I like that one if they use this.
Who's your friend? Big Ears?
So what happened, James?
I wanted the Spice Girls album, Spice. And so did my sister. We've both been pestering our parents a lot for the album. My father decided he had to tell us before Christmas who was going to get the album or not, because he didn't want an upset on Christmas Day. And so he waited until we were in a safe space with the local swimming pool. We'd all gone for a family swim.
Yeah.
And
a lovely Christmassy thing to do. A lot of people do a lot of swimming in the run-up to Christmas.
Yes. Because it was in honour of the 7 swans of swimming.
Yeah.
That's why we did it. We were swimming, and then my dad called a family meeting.
Shallow end?
Shallow end, yes. Oh, you're not treading water during a family meeting. He said, right, it's a week until Christmas, and I'm just going to let you know that Ruth is getting the Spice Girls album.
Ridiculous.
Well, where were you then? Because at the time, I looked like I overreacted.
Well, take us through this reaction. Paint a picture of how a young James reacted.
It was like a storm came over me. I was very angry. And then I turned and I walked to the other end of the shallow end. I did a width.
Yeah.
I would have stormed away, but it's very hard Wade through the water. You have to say every now and again, I'm really cross. Went to the other end, and I turned round so they could see my face, and I just sat down slowly. And I was under the water. I went, well, I was thinking this. I guess I'll either stay here until one of two things happens. Either I get the Spice Girls' debut album Spice, or I'm gonna die.
Which happened?
Well, what happened was, I came back up again, and I saw that not only were they not... They were just carried on swimming. They got always under the water now, and my dad quickly went, problem solved, and they carried on swimming.
What are you thinking, Noddy?
I just don't think his dad would do that. I think he'd buy 2 albums.
Oh, I'm unaware that you knew my father, Noddy.
What do you think about the 2 albums buying issue?
Well, like, as a parent, I just would have thought that just quietly, like, going off to HMV to buy an album is easier than taking the whole family for a group swim.
So what are you going to say, David? What's it going to be?
I think it's false.
I'll say lie.
You think that you both think it's a lie? I'm going to say lie.
OK.
Yeah.
James, were you telling us the truth, or was it a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. James did try to drown himself in protest over his Christmas presents. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Jerry. Sean, what is Jerry to you?
This is Jerry, and he was the policeman who came to investigate when I was heard screaming during a Christmas game of Twister.
Right, Sean's concerned copper. James, how do you know Jerry?
This is Jerry. He's the fireman who every Boxing Day soaks me with water during a festive game of squirt.
Right, James's fireman friend. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Jerry?
This is Jerry. He's the paramedic who ticked me off last Christmas after I landed my drone in his ambulance.
David's team, where to begin?
Sean, you were playing Twister.
Yep.
What was the occasion?
It was in between Christmas and New Year, and me and my family had gone away and rented a cottage.
And why did you scream?
Because I think I had my left hand on red and right foot on green.
Tricky.
Tricky. And we'd all had a few drinks, and...
What was the time? What time of day?
Oh, it was evening.
Right.
It was evening. I'd say about 10:30ish.
OK.
And my uncle fell on my face and I screamed. And you would scream, wouldn't you? You would scream.
Was he a friendly uncle?
Very friendly.
If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in tonight's show, there is a website you can visit.
It wasn't a horrific scream. It was fun. I was having fun. I was just a bit hysterical.
Could you reproduce it, Sean? Could an actress of your stature reproduce it for us now? Imagine, Lee, is this uncle who's a little too friendly. You're never that happy when he turns up, no matter how many presents you think, oh, it's Uncle Lee. Oh.
I like the way that you said she's a good actress, so she could play the part of the screamer, but I could just play the untoward uncle naturally.
So, there you are. Why don't you demonstrate the Twister? James, what are you doing?
Playing the Twister mat.
It wasn't a scary scream. It was like a
because I was having
Well,
fun scream.
how did the neighbour next door hear it if it was just a little scream?
Did the uncle let out anything as well? Did
I certainly did not.
So what happens then? So suddenly there's a knock on the door.
Yeah.
And what happens when Jerry arrives?
Well, we're all just having fun at this point. We've all had a few drinks. We all invite Jerry in, see if Jerry wants a sherry. He was really lovely about it.
Right. So is there a police station in this village? And they're all on duty at Christmas week, are
Well,
they?
there's always got to be a policeman on duty somewhere.
To look out for madmen like you pushing donkeys down lanes. Now, what about James?
OK, James.
Just remind us, James, what it was that you said.
Jerry is the fireman who every Boxing Day soaks me with water during a festive game of squirt.
Oh. OK. What's going on?
Squirt is a game.
Is it?
Yeah. 2 teams of firemen.
OK, so that's... For a game of squirt, the first thing you need is 2 teams of fire.
And they go either side of a river.
Yeah.
And you get a rope, and you tie it up in a tree at one side of the river, and then you run it along and you tie it to a tree at the other side of the river.
Yeah.
But before you've tied it to the other side, you thread a barrel across it.
Of course you do.
Just thread a barrel.
Yeah. What if there's a fire in the local area during the lengthy setup for a game of squirt?
Well, he's not... They can't put out fires anyway. He's only volunteer.
Sorry?
They're just a volunteer fire brigade. They're not allowed to put out fires.
What are they allowed to do? Just look at them?
They are permitted to pick up litter.
Where do they get the fire engines and everything from then?
Their fire engine's an old one. It's more like a ice cream van that's painted red.
The volunteers, do they have the uniforms?
No. The Kettering Volunteer Fire Brigade have a T-shirt and it has an emblem on it of a fire being put out by a beer.
Talk us through the rules of squirt.
OK. You get the barrel to the middle of the rope, right in the middle of the rope, and then both teams aim their hoses at it.
Are the volunteer firemen allowed real water, or do they just mime it?
No, they're allowed water, they just can't aim it at a fire.
OK.
If there was a fire, they would have to turn the hose off.
Right.
So what happens next?
Someone's like, go! And then they both turn their hoses on and they aim it at the barrel. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the barrel, trying to squirt it along the rope so it gets to the opposition side of the bank. And all the water is hitting this barrel, and we're standing on the bridge. Getting soaked.
Yeah.
And then you walk home going, good squirt this year.
Right, now then, what about Lee?
How did you come to land the drone in Jerry's ambulance?
We have this really weird tradition in our house where we like to keep dry. And so I thought, what I'll do is I'll fly my drone, but I'll stay in the house. And the window was open, and I thought...
The window was open because it was a very hot Boxing Day.
The window was open. The window was open because my wife always has the heat on very high over Christmas, and I'm not a fan of radiators, so I opened the window. Yeah. And I was practising in the bedroom, and I thought, I'm so in control of this. Rather than go downstairs and fly it, I'm just going to go straight out the window.
Was the drone a Christmas present?
The drone was a Christmas present, correct.
Who gave you a drone for Christmas?
Not you, because you got me nothing.
Yeah.
It was my wife.
Your wife got you... It's a very romantic present. A drone.
She'd heard me say it to her a lot during the year. Drone, drone.
Why was there an ambulance there? Had your wife called it as a precautionary measure?
The ambulance was actually the house over the road, and as I was flying the drone, I looked over, and a man was carried out on a stretcher. And I think, can't quite see what's going on, but I thought I'll have a little look at that. And my drone has a camera attached to it, so I fly my drone over. That's getting closer and closer. You know, I'm getting quite a good...
It can help, I think, when someone's just had a heart attack or something. Something shocking or strange can really helps them really get it together.
I thought so. And so I was watching it, and I thought, this is interesting. And then he gets put in the back of the ambulance, and the doors stay open, and Jerry goes in the back. I thought, I'll have a little look, see what's going on. So I get a bit closer. And now I'm hovering just outside the back doors.
Yeah.
And I pushed forward a little bit too much, and the drone went straight into the back of the ambulance, striking Jerry on the back.
This presumably hurt Jerry because the rotors of a drone are very fast.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he was a good 3 or 4 inches taller than this last year.
So Jerry spots you leaning out of your bedroom window with a remote control. What does he then do?
Oi! I said, give me my drone back! I can't really repeat what he said on television.
Okay, he swore.
Because... No, he's French and I don't understand French.
All right, we need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jerry Sean's concerned copper, James's fireman friend, or Lee's peeved paramedic?
Oh, I don't. I mean...
I think it's James's.
You think it's James's?
Yeah.
I think it's Sean.
I mean, I think we're agreed Lee is lying.
Yeah.
The question is it James or Sean?
I think it's a mate of James's from the pub who was a volunteer fireman.
I'm not happy about this. Because my instinct is that James is telling the truth.
Right.
But I know what that's saying publicly. I know what I am then believing. I'm believing a game that is played across a river between volunteer firemen with a souped-up ice cream van and squirting a barrel in which the locals come and stand and watch in just the place where they get splattered with water.
What's it going to be?
I think it's James.
You're going to go with James?
Yeah. Go on,
Jerry,
I'm saying it's James.
would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jerry, and I'm a volunteer fireman who soaks drains on Boston Day.
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, Jerry is James's fireman friend. Thank you very much, Jerry. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with... It's Lily.
Until last year, I believed that reindeer were fictional creatures like unicorns, until my 6-year-old daughter told me the truth.
Please, team.
Until how long ago?
Last year.
Oh. Is it because Father Christmas's reindeers fly? So that's why they couldn't possibly
maybe
be
that's
true?
why I came to that
get that.
conclusion. That I just felt like it was a ridiculous notion, yeah.
You were aware of deer, though, weren't you?
Yes, actually I was.
So you'd
Because
seen
of Bambi.
deer?
Hang on, because of a fiction... This doesn't make sense. You've seen a fictional reindeer
Well, if
flying in the sky...
if Bambi flew, then I probably wouldn't have believed in deer.
What about Dumbo? Did you not believe in elephants?
Did you stop believing in carpets when you saw Aladdin?
You know, I remember my ex-husband telling me that the moon was made of cheese, and I believed that. Like, there are things that I...
I think we should stop here for a second. You genuinely believed what your husband said when he said the cheese?
Well, I thought maybe it had, like, the same chemical makeup as cheese.
Can I just point out, Lily, you are saying this out loud on television.
Wow. Let's go back to the conversation between you and your little girl. How did it come about and what did she say?
I was going to take them on a trip to Lapland.
Right.
My daughter said, are there going to be reindeer? And I said, don't be ridiculous, reindeer aren't real.
What was her reaction to that?
She had been to another farm in Gloucestershire and had seen some reindeer, so she knew that reindeer were real.
And how long did this carry on?
Until I Googled reindeer.
Wow.
So, what are you going to say?
Well, it's a tricky one, because I can't believe she's never, up until that point, seen a reindeer.
I don't understand how you can go through life without seeing a real reindeer.
Sorry, are we talking about reindeer? Not...
Hello, David.
No, but... Sorry, because reindeer, they don't exist, do they? No,
Grandpa's woken up from his sleep on Christmas Day.
You can definitely go through your life without seeing reindeer.
No, you can't.
They're not like pigeons.
So what's it going to be, Lee? Let's go for a decision.
I mean, I still can't believe that giraffes are real. I've been to the zoo and I've seen giraffes. I still don't quite believe they're real.
Did you get out and feel it like Noddy would? I think it's a lie.
She's very believable, though.
You think she's lying, but she's believable?
Yeah.
And what kind of answer is that? I hope it's a lie, for Lily's sake.
Lily, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling a lie.
Next, it's David.
Possession.
Ah, right. There's a box under your desk. Now then, take the item out first. Lift the box onto the desk. Right, now take the item out of the box.
Thank you. Got it.
And now, read the card.
Last Christmas, my brother bought me this iPad. I've never turned it on, but I have used it to kill a wasp and carry 3 mugs of hot chocolate.
Lee's team.
Right. Who are the mugs of hot chocolate for? Go.
Sorry?
Who are the mugs of hot chocolate for? Say them now, without thinking.
Too much pressure. I don't know 3 people. It's a lie.
Who were they for, David?
They were for my wife, for me, and for my mother.
Where were you taking them to?
I was taking them from the hot chocolate making room to the hot chocolate consumptorium.
Kitchen to living room?
Yes, that's it.
Did you kill the wasp with the glass side or the non-glass side?
The non-glass side.
OK.
How hard did you hit it?
Well, it's dead. It wasn't like a great sweeping, smash.
Was it mid-air?
It was more of a sort of a press and lean. Lulled it into a false sense of security with my terrified whimpers. And then at a certain point, it settled on a flattish surface, and then I went in with the press and lean.
If you kill a wasp, you don't slowly press it like a psychopath. He only said that he does the push and press because he knew that there wasn't any dints on it.
No. I'm not saying I gradually... As soon as I was pressing, I pressed quickly. I didn't want to extend its suffering. I wasn't whispering stories about, do you find the room is getting smaller, Mr. Wasp? I'm sure you must be imagining it. You're finding your little antennae are getting a bit cramped. Oh, what next? Try and move a wing. Oh, you can't.
It's time to take a guess.
You say it's a...
Lie.
You say it's a lie?
It is a lie.
Okay. You say it's a lie. David, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling a lie.
That noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that Lee's team has won by 4 points to 1. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.